Hey, what's up? It's Riggs, bringing you all things living here in Columbus, Ohio. Today I am doing another neighborhood driving tour, bringing you another affordable community here in Columbus. It is called Linden. We are going to tour North Linden, South Linden, and East Linden. Let's get started. All right, so right now we are in South Linden. Once you take Interstate 71, if you take the 11th Avenue exit, it will drop you right into the heart of South Linden. So I'm just gonna take a little tour through here, allow you to see South Linden, then we'll go up into North Linden, and then we'll cross over into East Linden. Right, we are on Cleveland Avenue, which if you watch any of my other videos, my neighborhood tour videos, I'm always talking about main gateways, and that's not an official term, it's just something I like to say. I feel like Cleveland Avenue is a really main gateway for the Linden community. It's going to get you to all three parts of Linden for sure. So I'm just going to cut over here just so I can let you see some of the housing in this area. I'm covering this area because I get the request quite often to showcase homes that are $100,000 or less. And here in Columbus, it's not necessarily the easiest thing to find. I talked about that from an affordability. Affordability here in Columbus, according to Columbus Realtors, is $180,000 or less. That's challenging to find housing in our market right now that fits that top point, let alone $100,000. So Linden's just an area that I know if you're doing searches here in Columbus, homes will come up that are in this area. We are in the 43211 zip code, north end of Columbus, about 10 minutes outside of downtown Columbus. Other great things here, you are right here near the Matt Free Stadium, if that's how you say it. I always call it Crew Stadium. I've never said the official name. It's right by the History Museum, the Fairgrounds, the Expo Center. It's right near all these things. If you love entertainment, like I mentioned, it's right outside of downtown. So it's gonna have you right outside of the Short North and all of that stuff. So I'm just driving through North Linden for you to get a feel for what the community's like. What you're gonna find here is the homes are older homes, more mature homes. You're gonna see that the homes are mixed. You have renters that are paying market rent. You have folks who are Section 8 housing, and you also have owner occupants as well. And when I think of an area that's incredibly diverse for that, you're seeing that. Now, what you're also going to see here is houses that are boarded up and houses that are been completely renovated and everything in between. This is an area that is appreciating. There is quite a bit of investor activity in here, as well as other home assistance programs as well that are helping to revitalize the Linden area. It is exciting what they're doing. I do believe they still have a good ways to go, but that's in any area that's appreciating. That's just kind of how that is. So this area has a ways to go. You're going to be able to see a lot of mixed use here. So I'm going to give you a chance to see it without me rambling. I just want you to kind of tour and see what this community looks like. Mixed use community, right? So Linden is one of those areas for me that it's tough to give people a true sense. I have never lived in this area, and so I don't ever like to misspeak, but you're gonna see homes that are abandoned or blighted. Then you're gonna see homes that are very much cared for, and it's really odd and it's ironic because one home is significantly cared for, and then right next to it is a boarded up home, and then maybe there's another one that's not so great, but it's such an area that is so mixed. Now, if I'm being honest with you, and I'm always trying to be upfront and honest, if you were to do a search on Linden, I assure you, you are going to find a lot of negativity, a lot of negative around crime activity, and police behavior, as well as some really good things around different home assistance programs like Homeport, Habitat for Humanity, and there's another one I've seen that I cannot remember right now to save my life, that are revitalizing in the area. So, that is to each its own. I'm not here to tell you if I think it's good or bad, because we've all come from different life experiences, and I hope you can respect what I'm saying, but it's just not my place to say that, and I'm going to be very direct about it. But you have to be able to do your own due diligence and drive through this neighborhood and see it for yourself. I have a listing for sale in this community right now. I have several more coming. This is an incredible price point for folks who are really looking for something under $100,000. But it's also not for everyone either. And so you have to assess your own risk, what makes you comfortable, and decide what decision you want to make. It is not for me to say that for you. So we are coming up on North Linden. So once I get to Hudson up here, we'll be at North Linden. And so if I were to keep going up and down some of the streets in South Linden, you get a sense for what I'm saying. But what I think is interesting in this area is as I continue to go north, you do see this landscape change. And so again, a lot of that revitalization is happening. A lot of investor activity is happening. And I think, it's pretty mixed. Investors are purchasing homes here to have as rentals. And then there's investors who are purchasing homes here to flip them. And I think there's a good mix. I mean, if I look at the stats here, the low end here is $12,000 for homes that have sold, upwards to $185,000 in the last year. So it gives you a sense for there's incredible range. And again, if some of those houses are boarded up and abandoned, you get that $12,000 price point in comparison to those that have been rehabbed at the top of that at $185,000. Now, in the last 12 months, I believe there's been 375 homes that have sold here, transactions that have occurred here. And so it'll help you understand this level of demand in this community is wild. And again, if you're looking to have like an entry port into investing, this is an area that many will choose to invest in because the price point is relatively low. Now, right now we are sitting at Hudson, and so we are crossing into North Linden. So I'm going to take you through, let you see some of the homes here in North Linden so you can compare what the communities look like here than those that look like in South Linden. You're going to see lots of on-street parking, and you're going to see these homes are relatively close, no garages, for the most part, no garages and no driveways. This is an older community. This community has alleys. So the alleys are where trash collection happens, and many of them may have some off-street parking back there. Some of these communities here, some of these houses do have garages. Many are old and were torn down, but then it creates off-street parking for the folks and the residents who live here. So you'll see lots of cars, lots of folks on the street because that's common in this community. Alleys are the thing here. But I feel like in North Linden, there's a different feel. There's more housing that's livable, in my opinion, than not. I feel like South Linden has more of that abandoned feel than North Linden. And so it's because I think you're moving towards other parts of Columbus, and you start to sometimes see that shift in communities as you move through them. That is my own personal observation, not official by any means. But as I'm driving through here, I'm really observing that for myself. I just feel that the overall landscape in North Linden just feels more mature, just more houses that are lived in, that are maintained, at least from the exterior, obviously, in my opinion. Now, we are back on Cleveland Avenue in the heart of North Linden, and I want you to see how Cleveland Avenue feels different. We're getting into more like business civilization. You know, back in South Linden, a lot on this street was fairly abandoned, or maybe just not in the greatest condition. But in this part, we're moving towards Clintonville, and so the feel is definitely changing. So I wanted to make sure I gave you an opportunity to see this, because I think it's really interesting to see how the feel changes as you move towards one of our other communities, which I'll do a video on Clintonville real soon. I will say, you see the style of homes are typically 2-story homes. You will see your duplexes or your doubles, as I grew up knowing them to be, was a half double. And you'll see some ranch style and Cape Cod homes, just depending. But in some of the heart of Linden, many are 2 stories, and several duplexes, to be quite honest. Shopping center. I believe they still call it this. As long as I can remember growing up, that's what it was called. This used to be a really jumping area, and they still have significant retail in here. But the reality, the latest thing that happened here, they had a Kroger grocery store that they closed down. And so the big point of contention here is, where do local residents of this community go to get food, fresh produce, etc., when all of the options are quick, convenient, fast food type of things? It was huge, and I couldn't believe it. There's been many a times I've been up this way and I have gone to this Kroger here in this area, and it is no more. All right, so we are now in East Linden, last part of our neighborhood tour of the Linden community, and I just want to give you a chance to take it all in so you can kind of compare and contrast between the other 2 parts of the community. Was helpful for you to explore some more affordable communities here in Columbus, Ohio. We looked at the Linden community and we saw North Linden, South Linden, and East Linden. Again, if you're looking for a home that is about $100,000 or less, this community is one you will see in your searches. Again, the zip code is 43211, and it will come up in your searches many times for homes that are $100,000 or less. So I hope it was helpful. I want to thank you for watching. Do make sure you subscribe to my channel and like this video. It lets me know you want to see more of these. And then come and join me over on Instagram. I connect with all my folks there. It's my platform of choice. So come on over there and let's be social media friends there. You stay fabulous and productive and well, and I'll see you in my next video. Take care.